Hello, I hope you're having a great day and I hope you had a really good Halloween. Today is Halloween for us. I've got my little Pac-Man pumpkin eating the ghost shirt on. I love Halloween. It's a lot of fun. I just kind of took the weekend off, had some rest and relaxation, so that was nice. That's a day in the life of a flower farm. I mean, around this time of year, you actually start getting some breaks and you can take a little bit of time here and there to just replenish because it's been a long season. And there are a lot of things going on today, so I might not do a lot of field work, but tomorrow I'm going to come clean up the yarrow, and then I'm going to look at that old building and see what I can do about turning it into a greenhouse. But I thought it would be a good day to go over the Snapdragons. Those vases at my house, I'll take some pictures when I get back. Okay, I'm going to show you the vases really quick. This Snapdragon, obviously, I can pull off some of these bottom ones. They don't look as pretty. But look at that Snapdragon. All the way to the top. It started off a darker, and now it's a lighter pink. I've got this white one. So looking good still. The Dusty Miller still looks great. Some Lysianthus look okay, and some are kind of weak. We'll head over here. And some of these Snapdragons didn't quite open up all the way, but some of them are really pretty still. And look at that Lysianthus. Whew. It went from green and now it's getting purple on the inside and opening up more. Those Snapdragons are still looking good. And here is where it was all Snapdragons and Dusty Miller. I do notice some of them didn't open on up the top, but the tops look taller than when I even started. And some of them did. So we'll see. Maybe they'll just keep going. Do have a few that the bottom ones need taken off, but not a big deal. But man, I think those just look really pretty still. And those are the Snapdragons that I took out of the cooler after being in the cooler for 20 days. And I did them over 7 days ago. I put them in these vases. So these are 7-day-old vases, and I've never cut them and put new flower food in them because I'm the worst at that. But they're still going strong. They still look good. All the flowers look pretty, so that's awesome. That means I can cut Snapdragons, put them in a cooler for up to 20 days, maybe even more, and then pull them out of the cooler and still use them. So I love it. They have a great base life. But I thought I would just kind of go over this year what happened with the Snapdragons. I actually do think I had a really successful year with my Snapdragons. They did a lot better this year than the previous year, and I had found some varieties. I think I linked that in one of the other videos. And of course, if you've been following me, you know I have made a video, a day in the life of a flower farmer, starting this year when I made seeds, and then I just went all the way through the summer every day what I was doing on the farm. So there's a lot of videos if you search across my channel on Snapdragons. It kind of shows everything that I did this year in order. So I started on March 1st. I started my very first seeds of Snapdragons. And so today we're talking all about Snapdragons. And I think, like, I could be wrong here. I did a Google pronunciation search. And there are YouTube videos that are different. And then there's the Google one. So I'm going to turn up my speakers and play it really quick.
Antirrhinum. Antirrhinum.
Every 3 weeks, I succession planted them. So the first round went to the field on April 21st, and then I built a tunnel so that I could put frost cloth over the Snapdragon. Not too shabby. Our last frost date is around May 15th or so. So, I mean, I put them in 2 weeks early. I might have been able to put them in even earlier. They're kind of a cold hardy thing. And the first varieties did really well. If you go back, you'll see I planted, so I did a whole video on the groups of Snapdragons. And so I'm going to start them today, and then I'm going to succession plant them every 3 weeks until August 1st, because it takes them about 8 weeks to bloom, and it starts getting really cold and frosting and stuff in October, which some of these might be able to take that. So for my first and second succession, I'm going to do my groups 1 and 2. And then for my last 6th and 7th succession, I'm also going to do groups 1 and 2. And then for my 3rd, 4th, and 5th successions, I'm going to do all my 3rd and my group 3 and 4 Snapdragons. I did end up with a tray of Snapdragons I never even got in the ground. So I did too many successions. And I also was wondering how much I really needed to succession this year, because from the very first plants I put in to the last ones, they just got bigger and better as the summer went on. And so I don't know if I would have just started them all at the same time and put them out if I would have had just as good a luck. But I did have good luck with what I did, so probably what it is. But anyway, and then I cut my very first Snapdragons on June 3rd to put into bouquets and sell to florists. This is kind of a wonky Snapdragon, but see how I have 2 open right here? Now the reason I want to cut it like this is because I'm going to actually put it in my cooler and save it, and then when I put it in water, the others will continue to open. If you're wanting to put them in an arrangement right away, you can just wait until they're like really open and do it that way. But this will last a lot longer in the vase as well, because you got a little bit of color, and then it will add color. They do start to fade as they go to the top, but this is a good way to harvest them for maximum. Cut right here, you see there's 2 leaves here, so I could cut off right above that. So that was kind of what I did. Just every 3 weeks I made a succession of Snapdragons, and then I would put them in the ground and harden them off, and I ended up not getting my last tray in, and I just had a really successful year. So I'm going to try to throw some footage up on the screen of all of my Snapdragons, and I hope you really enjoy it. The junipers are starting to get all of their little blueberries. I think they look so cute. I like these. I like to make like a winter arrangement out of them. So here's what the Snapdragons look like today. You know, we've had a bunch of frost that killed all the plants, and everything just looks dead as a doornail, but here are the Snapdragons. They're obviously like not flowering, but look at them. They're green, they're upright, they're not just brown and dead. They actually look pretty good. I mean, they're not gonna flower, but the plant and the leaves stayed really good when everything else completely died. Isn't that crazy? So when they say it's a cold hardy plant, it definitely is a cold hardy plant. Now, I don't know. I mean, we have like 3 days where it's gonna be 70 degrees. It'd be interesting if maybe one of these bloomed. I don't think they will though. I think they all got, like the flower part got frozen, so they're not gonna do anything. But I can't believe how they're still standing up and they're like the green when everything else around it is just completely brown and dead. So yeah, I think Snapdragons you can definitely put in the ground early. I mean, they even lived through everything that killed everything else in this field, so good to know. Another beautiful bucket. The legend Snapdragons are looking really good this time of year. So they're definitely going to be on the list. The it be one of my biggest hauls of Snapdragons to date. Another gorgeous bucket of Snapdragons. Yay! Which creates kind of a conundrum for the bucket. Holy 5-gallon bucket of Snapdragons. Ooh, look at these beauties. So I cut about 80 Snapdragons and it was only about 1/4 of the row. And they were blooming quite a bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and give those to my florist today. I think they'll use it. 54 Snapdragons, and it is getting windy out today. You have like this Snapdragon that is absolutely long. I mean, that thing's at least 2 or 3 feet long, and it has a ton of blooms, and those blooms will already open up all the way to the top. You know, so that's, and then down here are these shorter ones I'm telling you about. They barely clear the bucket. That here in Iowa at my flower farm, the Potomac or Potomac and the Rocket Mix did far superior than the other ones. And then the Madame Butterfly were the first ones to bloom. So that's kind of my year in review of the Snapdragons. I think I had a really successful year, and they were one of the last flowers standing, and I still have some in a vase at home, and it's October 31st, which is pretty amazing here in Zone 5. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that video, and I hope you have a great day.